What's going on, guys? Dig here, ready to teach you how to do the carrier Easter egg, and yes, you can do it solo. And before we get started with the Easter egg guide, there are 3 discrepancies that you need to know about this Easter egg. One is that there are 2 spawn locations when you spawn into the map, and I'm gonna show you the best path to take for these 2 different spawn locations. Secondly, if you're playing on PC, this map crashes a lot, so there's 2 settings that you need to turn off if their game is crashing. To get this setting, you need to go to video option, go to advanced video, and then you're gonna go to shadows. Turn off your shadows, and then you're gonna scroll down and you're gonna go to preload shaders, and you're going to turn that off as well. This should negate the crashes of this map. Thirdly, there is a step where you have to interact with a shark in the water. If you're playing on mouse and keyboard, you're looking around inside the cage is extremely slow. It doesn't matter how much you increase your DPI or increase your movement looking, you are going to be looking very, very slow in the water. You're going to need a controller for this step. You can do it on mouse and keyboard, but it's going to be all based on luck if the shark comes towards you in the cage. So I'm going to tell you right now, get a controller if you have one. You're going to save you a lot of time and a lot of headaches for this step. Now, starting with the first spawn location, if you're inside the boat, as soon as you spawn in, if you run straight forward, you go to your left, you'll find the first generator. Turn this on and turn around and go up the ramp. Once you get up to the top of the ramp, turn to your right and then turn to your right once again to get to the edge over here, and you'll find quick revive. Now, at the end of round 2, you're going to buy the door to the right side to go through the moon pool. Once you get through the hallway, turn to your right, go down the long hallway once again, and then turn on this generator. Once you turn on this generator, turn to your left, and then you'll find Juggernaut right here. Now, you're going to stay inside the moon pool area until you get 4 grand. Once you get 4 grand, buy the door up to the lift, go up the stairs, go past the sharks, and then you're going to turn on the generator over here in this far corner. Once you turn on this generator, if you turn around, go past the sharks once again, to your left will be Speed Cola. And then once again, turn around and go through the sharks, and then to your left, you're going to buy the door to the cargo bay. Once you get through the cargo bay, to your right side, you'll find a generator. Turn this on, and then right over there in the center, you're going to find your exosuit. Now for the second spawn location outside of the boat. As soon as you spawn in, if you go to your left side, you'll find the first generator. Turn this on, and then turn around and go up the orange stairs. Once you get across the catwalk, and you're going to find Quick Revive over here to the left side. Now, as soon as you get to the end of round 2, you're going to go past Quick Revive and go to the armory door. By the door, go up the stairs and turn on this generator. Once you turn on this generator, to your right side, to your left will be Exo Soldier. Now, you can drop down if you want. You're going to be stuck down there if you do, or you can stay up top and stay at spawn. But either so, save up to 4,000 points, and then you're going to buy the door to the right side to the lift. Once you get through this door, you're going to go past the sharks, and you're going to turn on the generator in the far right corner. Once you turn on this generator, go past the sharks once again, and then to your left, you'll be Speed Cola. Turn around and then go past the sharks, and then to your left, you're going to buy this door into the cargo bay. To your right will be a generator. Turn this on, and then in the center will be the exosuit. And once you turn on the exosuits, go ahead and grab an exosuit and make your way back into the armory. Once you're inside the armory, to the left side of the biohazard door, you're going to buy the teleporter grenades. Once you buy the teleporter grenades, go back into the cargo room, and then to the far left corner, you're going to activate this trap. Once you activate this trap, go back into the room that you came in from, and then you're going to hold the zombie here if you want to save the round. Once you're inside this little room, you're going to wait for the cart to go past this little box over here, and then you're going to wait for it to pass it the second time, and then you're going to run back inside the room, and then you're going to hop back onto the cart. Once the cart gets back into the room that it came out of, you're going to wait to activate your teleport grenade. You're going to shoot it on the ground to go inside the little room, and you're going to activate the generator inside this room. Once you activate the generator, it's going to teleport you outside of this room. You're going to go back into the armory, and immediately to your left side, you'll find a Plinko board. Now, to activate the Plinko board, you're going to shoot a teleporter grenade in the hole. Once you shoot a teleporter grenade in the hole in the top left corner of the Plinko board, it's going to cycle through a bunch of grenades. Now, you're going to wait for a specific grenade to appear in the top left corner, and what you're going to do is you're going to shoot a regular grenade in the hole to drop that special grenade in the first slot. For the first sequence, you're going to want to get a distraction grenade, and then you're going to want to get a regular frag grenade, and this is going to shoot the distraction grenade over here to the right side to turn on this green light. You're going to have to do this 3 different times, and there's going to be 3 different sequences that you're going to have to do. Now, when you do complete a sequence, you're going to have to shoot another teleport grenade inside the hole to activate it once again. On your screen right now, I'm giving you the cheat sheet of each individual sequence. The first sequence is going to be a distraction grenade, and then it's going to be a frag grenade. The second sequence is going to be explosive grenade, and then it's going to be a distraction grenade, and then it's going to be explosive, and then it's going to be a regular grenade. For the third sequence, it's going to be explosive, and then it's going to be nano, explosive, distraction, explosive, and then regular frag grenade. Now, at any point, if you put in the wrong grenade in the wrong sequence, what you're going to do is you're going to shoot another teleporter grenade inside the machine to turn it off. Then you're going to shoot a second one in there to turn it back on, and then you're going to shoot a third one in there to reset the board. Once the board is reset, then you can continue putting it in your grenade cycle. So for example, in this game, I was supposed to get an explosive grenade, and then I got a distraction drone instead. So after I reset it, then I can go back and get an explosive drone to continue with my sequence. Now, a few tips to help you with this step because it can be very annoying. One thing I highly recommend is buying the stockpile perk. It's going to be located in the outside spot. If you go through the medical bay door and to your right side, you're going to turn on the generator. Go down the hallway to your right side will be stockpiles. This will give you 1 extra grenade in your slot, 5 regular grenades as well. Also, while you're doing the Plinko board step, if you go on top of one of the ledges and let the zombie climb up, it'll give you enough time to drop down from the ledge and put in your grenade so you don't accidentally take him out with your grenade. Also, if you turn around to the right side of the teleporter grenades, you can buy impact grenades to reset to get 5 more impact grenades as well, and you can buy more impact grenades with 500 points. Also, I know this is common sense, but I did it too as well. If you're throwing your regular grenades in there and you're not doing impact grenades, be careful if you're holding it out because you can cook it and it can explode in your hand and it can kill you off. So make sure you're not cooking your grenades in your hand. And once you complete all 3 sequences and you have 3 green lights, to the right side of the board, you'll find a keypad keypad. Go ahead and pick up this keypad and go up top and go past the generator and the perk and go down the stairs. Once you make it to the bottom of the stairs to your left is a vault. Go ahead and interact with it one time, interact with it a second time after they're done talking, and then interact with a third time after they're done talking for the second time to put the pad inside the vault. Now we can move on to the next step of the Easter egg. Just make sure that the pad disappears on the bottom left corner to know that you put it in here, because if you don't, then you can't do the next step of the Easter egg. Now you're gonna make your way to the bottom left corner of the armory and you're gonna find this zombie hand. You're gonna continue giving it weapons until it throws a bottle on the ground. One tip I could give you when you're doing this step as well, if you want him to give you an item that you need, you just give him different weapons. If you give him the same weapon over and over again, he will not give you what you want. But as soon as he throws the bottle on the ground, you're gonna interact with it and it's gonna make you drunk. You're gonna go through the biolab door and you're gonna go over here to the right side. You're gonna interact with this keypad. What's gonna happen now is there's gonna be a bunch of lasers you're gonna spawn in and you're gonna have to follow a specific path. You're not gonna touch the lasers. If you touch the lasers, it's gonna turn the lasers back off and you're gonna have to go back to the keypad to turn it back on and to complete this step. One thing I highly recommend is you do this on the end of the round and you keep a crawler with you to make it a little bit easier. If you can't get a crawler, then get a camouflage drop pod to go invisible when you try to complete the step and when you get to an annoying part. Also, on the bottom left corner is going to be a timer. You have 2 minutes to get to where you need to get to, and I'll show you the path later in a second. Also, on top of that, if the drunk effect turns off, you can go ahead and go back to the bottle to interact with it and turn it back on to complete the step. Now on your screen right now, I'm going to show you the correct path to take to complete the step. Starting off the first path, you're going to go through the cargo bay. Going through the cargo bay is pretty simple and pretty easy. You're just going to do regular boost jumps and land on the empty square spaces. Once you get to the other side to the big doors, you're going to crouch into a walk underneath the laser. Be careful here, because if you hit the sprint button, it's going to make you automatically stand up. You're going to fail this step. You're going to have to go restart it. Once you get past these lasers, you're going to go down the stairs and you're going to follow the pathway that I take through the moon pool. Once you get to the other side of the moon pool, you're going to climb up this ledge and turn to your right. Go down the hallway, hugging the left side of the wall, and then turn to your right once again and continue hugging the wall to the left side. Highly recommend using the sentinel drop pod if you can to help you out with this step as well, to protect you from zombies if you're doing this mid-round. Once you get to the end of the hallway, turn to your left and go down this long hallway once again and avoid the lasers on the right side. Once you get to the very end to the left side, right in front of the teleporter will be another keypad. Go ahead and pick up the keypad, then you're done with this step. And for the next step of the Easter egg, go to the vault door and place your keypad inside the vault and go to the top of the stairs to your left and drop down into the armory. You're going to keep on giving the zombie hand weapons until it gives you 3 different parts that you need. One of the parts is going to be a spool for the fishing rod. A second part is going to be the fishing hook. And the third and final part is going to be the string. And one thing I want you to keep in mind while you're picking up all these parts, you can only carry one at a time. So you have to go to the fishing rod and drop it off every time you pick up a part. The fishing rod is going to be located right in front of the vault door that you've been interacting over here to the right on the top of the railing. Go ahead and place your parts down. We'll come back to this later for another Easter egg step. One big major tip I can give you while you're giving him weapons, the better weapons to give him are wall weapons, and make sure you give him weapons that you haven't given him already, because he'll give you the parts faster if you give him weapons you haven't given him already. Now, if you're hitting the box, these 2 weapons and this special equipment will carry you through this Easter egg if you can get them out of the box. I'm telling you right now, try to get them, because you're going to have like more of a 90% chance of beating this Easter egg if you have these weapons. Highly recommend grabbing the cell out of the box. Highly recommend grabbing the wonder weapon, which is the limbo, out of the box. And I highly recommend grabbing the distraction grenades out of the box as well. Now, while you're hitting the box, at any point, if you get a teddy bear, if you look above the box at any box location, you can see where the mystery box goes to the next one. Now, once you get these weapons as well, I highly recommend only pack-a-punching the sail as much as you possibly can over the wonder weapon. Pack-a-punch the wonder weapon when you're low on ammo and you don't think you're going to get ammo anytime soon for it, but I highly recommend getting the pack-a-punching the sail first, because that's going to be more important for the later round. Now, going back to the Easter egg, the next step that you need to be doing is you're going to have to take out teleporter zombies and you're going to have to pick up the teleporter grenade that they drop. You can only carry one of these at a time, and you have to go to the teleporter that's right by the slam perk down to the left side of the generator to place these inside of it. You're going to have to get 20 of these in total. Also, I highly recommend when you're putting these parts inside the teleporter, stand on the outer edge of the teleporter to place them in, because it can be really finicky to try to place them inside the teleporter when you're inside the teleporter as well. Now, a few things I need you to keep in mind while you're doing this step: the grenades that drop on the ground slowly disappear, and you can only carry one at a time. So make sure you take them out near the teleporter so you can place them in quick enough before they disappear. Also, in addition, you can sit in this corner right here with a turret or with your limbo, and you can just keep on taking the zombies out with ease to make it a lot easier and quicker to get the teleporter grenades. You can also train the zombies inside the cargo bay area to the left side to make it a little bit easier if you can't stay in the camping corner either. In addition, you can just walk over the items to pick them up. You don't have to interact with them or anything. You just got to walk over them. Now, by round 11, what's going to happen is a bomb team is going to spawn in. You're going to have to go to this bomb and you're going to have to defuse it. The best thing I can tell you is you're going to want to take out the humans first, because there's going to be 2 of them and one of them will drop you a camouflage. Once you get into the later rounds, both of them will drop you a camouflage to hide away from the zombies, but ideally you need to take out both of the humans first, pick up the camouflage, defuse a bomb. At any point, if these bombs do spawn in, take priority over this over anything else. Get these cleared out, because if they do blow up the area that the bomb is at, it will become an infected area. On top of that, if all 3 blow up, a big brute will spawn in. And additionally as well, if one of the bombs does blow up, the zombies' health are increased and you do less damage to the zombies as well. Now, as soon as you pick up enough teleported parts and you put it inside the teleporter, it's going to glow blue that it's ready to go. Now you're going to go to the fishing rod and you're going to keep on purchasing it until you get a shovel. This is all RNG based of when you get the shovel, but just keep on purchasing it until you get the shovel. Once you get a shovel, go ahead and go back to the teleporter, teleport to the island. Once you're on the island, you're going to have to keep on on digging until you find this box. This is all based on RNG as well, and you are timed during this too, so you only get about 50 seconds on this island, and every time you purchase the teleporter, it's going to cost more points. But every time you end the round, the points will reset back to 100, and then increase once again once you purchase it more times. But once you find the box on the island, go ahead and pick up the keypad, and then you're going to take it back to the vault and place it inside the vault. Now once you place that keypad inside the vault, if you go turn around to the right side of the fishing rod, you'll find the level 25 pack-a-punch as well available for you as well. Now go back to the spawn location inside the hangar, and over here by the quick revive, you're going to interact with this locker. Now you're going to go through 2 rounds now, and you're going to wait for these drones to spawn in. You're going to take out one of the drones that do not have a power up in it. Once you take it out, you'll get a lever that's going to be in the bottom left corner of your screen. Once you run over it and pick it up. In addition, if you do not take out the drone fast enough and pick up the lever, what's going to happen is you're going to have to go through another full 2 rounds before the drones spawn back in. So please make sure you take out the drones so you don't have to deal with that. Now on your screen right now, I'm going to show you the best pathway to take to find these drones as well when you go through 2 full rounds. Starting off, you're going to start at the moon pool area, then you're going to go up the stairs, then you're going to go on top of the sharks, look around in that corner, and then you're going to turn around, go inside the armory. Look around the armory, and then turn to your left, go up top to the ledge, and go inside the hangar. Once you're inside the hangar, look around, then climb up on the ledge at the back, and then go to the other side of the spawn. You're going to look around the gunship area, and then you're going to drop down into the medical bay. Check around the medical bay, and then exit out to the biolab area, and then make your way back into the cargo bay area. Once you get back to the cargo bay, go back to the moon pool area, and then rinse and repeat this cycle until you find the drones and pick up your lever. But once you pick up your lever, go back to the moon pool area, and over here to the left side, you'll find a power junction box. Go ahead and place your lever on it, and what you're going to have to do now is take out zombies over the glass panel. When you take out a zombie over this glass panel, what's going to happen is the blood's going to leak into the water. So I highly recommend grabbing a turret and placing it on top of the glass panel to lure the zombies there. You can also use distraction zones as well. But once you get enough kills over the glass panels and enough blood went into the water, a shark will spawn in. Once the shark spawns in, go ahead and go flip the lever to activate the trap, and then a cage is going to drop into the water. Now you're going to want to boost jump into the cage, and it's going to place you inside the cage. At this moment as well, I highly recommend switching to controller if you're on mouse and keyboard so you can move into the water quickly. But once you switch to the controller or whatever you were playing on, you're going to quickly move over towards wherever the shark is attacking the cage and interact with it to collect a eyeball. A huge tip I can give you when you're trying to get into the cage, I highly recommend grabbing the camouflage pod to help you with this step as well, so that a lot of zombies aren't attacking you when you're trying to get into the cage. But once you pick up the eyeball, you're going to go back into the hangar, and you're going to interact with the locker to open it up, and then you're going to pick up the keypad that's on the bottom of the locker. Go back to the vault and place it inside the vault, and then you're going to have to give the zombie arm a bunch of weapons until he gives you a C4. Now, one major tip I can give you while you're doing these last little bit of steps is I highly recommend doing this at the end of the round, because you're going to get stuck in a corner, or you're going to get stuck on a hallway if you're trying to do this mid-round. You're right at the end of the Easter egg, so you might as well not risk it. Once you pick up the C4, you're going to go back to the vault and place it on the vault, and now you have completed the carrier Easter egg. I hope you guys enjoyed the Easter egg guide. I hope to see you in my next guide for the Call of Duty Cold War, and then I'll see you in for the BS7 release as well. Other than that, much love, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!